Monday, October 14th, 2024. Altis. NUTSAC, or SAC for short, have captured large amounts of territory from the CIA-backed puppet government known as ION, and now look to halt the Russian Federation's advance, who weeks prior declared it would undergo a special military operation in the region to kill and destroy as many innocent people as possible. The Russians stuck to their word and now control most of northern Altis and are striking south towards the very heart of the island. And in that heart sits an airbase under Russian control, an airbase they intend to keep, an airbase that NUTSAC intends to take, no matter the cost. And what follows is some of the most intense fighting in the Second Altan Civil War. Real quick context here, we're currently playing Arma 3 using the Antistasi Ultimate mod on the Altis map. This is a fictional scenario made up by us, I'm just doing this for fun. Arma 3 is a sandbox sim best used with mods. It came out over a decade ago and is still relatively relevant in the gaming milsim space today. Big for creating custom missions and mods for you and your friends to play with. You can do anything from World War II to Halo, and that's just the appeal of it. Antistasi is a custom mission for Arma 3 that allows you to play as insurgents fighting against one or more factions, usually an occupation government and a foreign invasion government. In this case, the occupation government is ION forces. They're basically like a PMC faction, so they have a wide variety of Western gear, and then the invasion force is the armed forces of the Russian Federation, having Russian gear. You start with nothing and you're nobody. You have to loot items, capture outposts, and convince towns to join you in a war for liberation on the map of your choosing. Altis is an Arma 3 map with Antistasi. That's pretty much it. Altis is just the map. Sounds good? You got it? Okay, cool. I don't really care anymore. SPG-9 rockets start to rain down on the airbase, coming from a NUTSAC stronghold located north of Laka. This is soon followed up with bursts of 20mm cannon rounds from a Zu-23 located on the hill, but that is quickly counter-batteried by the Russians, who clue in on what's about to happen.
Counterfire!
Meanwhile, skirmishes start to happen around the exterior of the airbase, with multiple gate teams being attacked and ultimately destroyed by SAC forces. All while 20mm cannon fire from the hill continues to pour into the airbase, eventually disabling a radio tower used to coordinate Russian forces, and the attack begins in earnest. SAC rebels begin flooding in from the southwest of the base and briefly overrun the southern outpost before Russian mortars open up on it, followed by a detachment of Arma, wiping out the first wave of the SAC ground element. At this time, the second wave begins, and the Russian armor, lightly supported by infantry, are disabled or destroyed by the second wave as they crash into the ruins of the southern airbase outpost. Despite securing the southern outpost, mortar fire continues to come from Airbase Center, and in a desperate attempt to silence them, they fire rocket-propelled missiles from a BM-21 Grad system in the rebel stronghold. This was a gamble that they lost, as the multiple rocket launches stirred the ire of ION, who had yet to join the fight, and having located the rebel stronghold from the launches, used special airdrop magic bullshit to send drop pods right into the base, slowing down the main attack.
Yes.
Yep.
We are going to be cruise missiled by ION.
That's fine, I think we can live with that.
Also, we're getting ION CAS and Orbital.
Orbital we can deal with. CAS will probably get intercepted by the Russians. But the mortars were silenced, finally giving SAC troops the breathing room they needed to lock down the outpost south and begin staging for Airbase Center. Airbase Center had been decimated by rocket launch strikes, and what was left of the Russian ground element was located either in outpost north or rallying in the seaport/industrial area located to the east of the airbase. With the counter destroyed, SAC began digging into Airbase Center, setting up bunkers and sandbags before sending troops north to deal with the final remaining outpost on the airfield. The first few elements of SAC troops slammed into the northern garrison from the south and southwest, but were mostly neutralized. What followed was SAC elements from the southeast securing the hangars for cover and engaging Russian troops at point-blank range in intense close-quarters fighting. Russian armor, desperate to flank the rebels, attempted to encircle them from the rear, but the battle-hardened insurgents were waiting. SAC then deployed a stolen Russian BMP-2 with UN paint markings because they're like terrorists and, UN drip is badass. The BMPs in the back lines wiped out Russian infantry in the open on the airfield before quickly withdrawing after more Russian armor was spotted entering the area from the north. The Russians responded with T-80s and BMPs, so the rebels responded with mobile anti-tank trucks, destroying what was the 4th Russian armored counter. Finally, after 3 hours of fighting, the northern outpost fell, and with that, the heart of Altis was secured, for now at least. The Russians don't forget, and they certainly didn't forgive. In the following sessions, multiple towns showing signs of SAC sympathy were wiped off the map. Civilian population centers massacred by Russian special forces as SAC was helpless to stop them against an increasing Russian offensive and an Ion government looking to regain lost territory in the south. But that's a story for another time. Thank you guys very much for watching. This is kind of like an experimental video for me. I know I haven't uploaded in a long time, but I kind of want to start uploading a little bit more, and I want to keep playing Arma. So let me know if you guys enjoyed. If you want to kill me, say so in the comments, and yeah, see ya.